Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to some raw gameplay, raw sauce, as my man Big Shaq would put it. But yeah, this obviously, well, perhaps not obvious to you, because you can't always tell. This isn't a live commentary, this is just going to be a sort of a play-by-play rundown of a good game that I had, where I can take a look at, you know, explain my thoughts, my processes, my cognitive movements, my brain hemorrhaging. What am I talking about? I've lost the plot. Anyway. Yeah, this is a solo game, which I don't tend to play that often, and I guess we'll just jump straight into it, shall we? We'll metaphorically do what our character is literally doing when he jumps from a bus. Let me see, I wonder if I can even remember this game. Oh yeah, I do remember this actually. I won't spoil it, but this is it wasn't a great start, so to speak. It didn't come easy. Success never comes easy, kids. Remember that. This is actually a pretty terrible place to land. I thought it would be quite good because it's sort of a non-named area that looks like it would have a bunch of stuff in, but there's me spotting someone who I don't think actually spotted me at all. I don't think he even knew I was here this entire time, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, as you can see, I'm just picking up ammo, and that's literally it. Trying to see what the strange creature, also in the vicinity, is up to. I'm gonna stalk him like Predator. I need my heat vision. Check out what he's doing. As soon as he starts throwing what I assume are grenades there, I just dip. I'm like, nope. Nope, 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 nope. I ain't got time for this. Pretty unsuccessful first looting trip, to be perfectly honest. It looked like he had some sort of pistol. And I am not sticking around to find out what he does with it. I'm running over to the safety of Optimus Prime up here. That's pretty random, I don't really know what that's about. So he basically found the only worthwhile thing there. I have been to that area again on subsequent occasions and actually found some pretty good stuff. I guess it's just luck of the draw, really. You know, you win some looting trips, you lose some, and hopefully the next one will be a success. But even if it's not, don't consider yourself down and out, because you never know what can happen in this game. A white revolver isn't great, but at least I've got a weapon now. I seem to remember finding something good. No? Maybe not. I thought I found like a blue or something. It's been a little while since I've watched this, so it'll be fresh to you and fresh to me, but less fresh to me. But the main thing is we are locked and loaded, so if we do end up bumping into that guy, or any other guy for that matter, we do stand a fighting chance, even if we do only have pistols. And we're not too far from the circle, so I mean, it's not great. Ideally, you want to have a rifle or a shotgun as soon as possible. I mean, they're like your main two that you want, really, in this game. Rifle, shotgun, and then you can start worrying about bandages and scope rifles. Whatever your young heart desires. But I never truly feel comfortable or content, take your pick, until I have a shotgun and a rifle of some description. Supposedly in the most recent update, the Pumpy is just ridiculous now. Like, it's massively OP and has a ridiculous range on it that shouldn't be occurring. It needs a bit of a nerf. As you can probably tell by the fact that I'm having to pick up ammo manually, this isn't part of the Halloween update. This is some old gameplay that I found and thought it was pretty good. I mean, I guess you'll be the judge of that. It's not a lot occurring right now, but I'm surviving. That's the main thing. I'm a survivor. But yeah, this it's not an easy game, you know. For any new players wanting to get into it, I'd say it's sort of 50% luck, 50% skill, 15% concentrated power of will. Now, at this point, I took a pot shot at that guy, and then kind of second guessed myself because I realised that he's got a rifle. I've just got a crappy little revolver. I think it's probably not the sort of fight I'm going to win. Skipped it forward a little tad here because I just kind of camp in the corner and eat some delicious... What was I eating? I'm going to have to assume. I think I ate some Fugnose. A big old bag of Fugnose. Fuck knows what was in that bag, guys. I don't want to know. Frankly, I've moved on. Anyway, here's a couple of guns that I guess this guy just didn't want. So we do actually end up with our first rifle, which is a nice little thing to have at this stage in the game. So after a little bit of a camp out, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm done with this place. I'm moving on. I'm moving on up to better and brighter things, stranger things. I love that show. I could talk about that show all day, but I'm not going to because that's not what this video is about. It's about me succeeding in Fortnite. This prison area is actually another really good area if you can get there and win the initial fight because it's so massive. There's so much loot around, and as you can see, it looks like there's already been someone here. Actually, I think this it does kick off a little bit around here. We managed to find our first green weapon that I can see over there. So we are a little bit late to the party, but we do finally have a shotgun and a rifle. So I'm feeling a little bit more confident now. You wouldn't know it because I can hear someone. I can hear someone stalking around. You can hear... Oh! Bang! Poor sucker didn't even see it coming. Didn't even hit me once. And as you can see, he's got some reasonably good stuff for the situation. Which of course I'm gonna most definitely help myself to. Do I not take the bandages? Definitely need to take the bandages. Yeah, I took the bandages. I guess I was just sorting out what I want. Or rather, what I wanted and what I didn't want from this assortment of goodies. Get some more shotgun ammo. And now it's kind of up in the air as to... Honestly, if the circle ends on here, this is a really good area to fortify. But as you can probably tell, we've got to move on. And I can't remember if I just go straight there or if I stick around for a bit longer. Because, I mean, I've got a minute. No, I move on, clearly. Looks like a bit of a graveyard up here. I don't know why someone just left that scoped rifle. I mean, perhaps they already had one. 2 scope rifles is indeed a bit unnecessary. As you can see, we're actually already down to 17 players. Which in my eyes means there's not going to be too many people around here. At least that's what I was thinking. Because I seemingly landed in a pretty uncontested area with one other guy who I may or may not have already killed. It's always difficult to tell. I could have checked the names. Actually, no, you don't even see the names above their heads. Anyway, in my head I'm thinking that there's not really going to be anyone around here at this stage. You never know, of course. And I have been screwed over many times thinking that in other games. Because you never truly know what other players are doing in this. The map isn't as big as PUBG, so... You know. Close encounters are far more likely, considering it's 100 players thrusted into such a small map. But this kind of shows you that you can afford to be... You don't have to be aggressive. You can kind of hide out and still do reasonably well in this game. I've only killed one person and we're already down to 15 players. And I've made it into the circle. Guess I'm just doing a quick little scout around to see what's what, to see Wagwan. There's one thing I've learnt in this game is that you can never be too careful I often die being shot in the back, because there is no honour in this game. There is no honour in Battle Royale, only pain and misery, and occasional victory. These bloody jump pads, I swear, I never ever intentionally use them. I always accidentally use them, and end up using them when I'm trying to get down from something, just getting bounced straight back up there. There's something a little bit creepy about just sort of being in a farmyard area like this, all on your own, all on your lonesome. Someone's obviously died here. I've got quite a bit of time on my hands, so I'm affording myself a few more loot expeditions to see what I can find around here. This is obviously a bit of a massacre went down here. But we've got a fair amount of bandages, which is always a good thing. Obviously a med kit is always better, because that can heal you back up to full health. I'd say in most scenarios you'd rather take a med kit over bandages, but if you have, like, say 10 plus bandages, it might be advisable to take that instead. You can be a bit more tactical with how you use it. Generally speaking, I'll take the med kit over that though. With just over a minute left. Oh look, we just saw someone building up there as well. So I'm popping out the old sniper to see if I can get a pot shot off on him. He's probably making his way towards the circle though, so we should probably keep moving ourselves. I'd imagine I'd probably take his staircase to see if I can sneak up on this guy. Sneaky sneaky. Sneaky beaky. High ground's always good in this game, for the most part. Unless you're... some distance shots going on, like a few more deaths occurring. Yeah, unless you're fully exposed, which you often can be from a lot of angles on top of these hills. You can normally use the sort of cliff sides tactically to avoid being spotted from most sides. Got the old shotty out just in case we do bump into him. I don't think we see... I don't know, maybe we do see this guy. I think we do. I seem to remember... Yeah, there we go. He's right there. It's not even necessarily always a good plan to start firing, but I hadn't seen anyone in so long. I thought, fuck it. I'm pretty pants with the full-blown sniper at this kind of range, so I'm switching over to the scoped rifle. That guy's freaking out. He's lost the plot. Oh, he's seen me. He starts firing back. That's when I start hitting him. Look at that terrible aim, though. Hit him again. He doesn't know. He's panicking hard and gets punished for it. Really, what he should have done is just run over the opposite side of the hill. He probably could have escaped from me. A lot of people in this game seem to panic. I've done it so many times. When you don't necessarily know where you're being shot from, first instinct is to just sort of run around like a headless chicken. Did also not mean to drop down that ledge. Took a little bit of unnecessary damage there, but it's okay, because we've got loads of bandages and we've made our way into the circle. So our second encounter occurred without the enemy even knowing where we were. A little bit of time to heal up. We got someone building some sort of structure up here. Now we're in the circle, we can keep an eye out for any stragglers. I'm being a bit cautious of that building at the top because I imagine there's going to be a person in there. Unless he's moved on. I remember feeling very exposed in this area because there could be people coming from behind me, there could be people looking at me from that hut, from the sides. I'm using the tree as cover, just to see if I can spot anyone around here. Super duper quiet, so I'm moving in. Taking more unnecessary damage though. I kind of wasn't used to the amount of full damage in this game at this point. I think my initial plan was to try and get up on that high ground. Or at least try and see if there is someone on the high ground. But I'm playing extra cautiously right now. There's only 4 players left, which means I can imagine everyone else is doing the same thing. Circle's about to get real small, so I'm pushing up to try and get some sort of early advantage on any stragglers. Knowing my luck, they were bound to be set up in here already though. So I'm taking it slow. Slow and methodical. Still a bit paranoid about the possibility of a guy being up top. But we haven't seen him yet, and he is outside the circle. So I'm assuming at this point that that is no longer occupied. He's vacated the premises. This is the type of area that you feel very exposed in because, I mean, look at it. I could get flanked from all sides here, really. And it's such a difficult position because there's not necessarily a better position for me to run into. Maybe what I should have been doing is building, but honestly, I'm just got my head on a swivel. Trying to cover all the flanks that I can. I mean, you can't cover all flanks really in this game. But we're not in the worst position because we're in the circle already, which means we could pick off any stragglers. Checking to see if that guy comes down. So this is the point when my headset went on and I went into full-on try-hard mode. 4 people left. I thought it was probably time for me to start taking this game seriously. And just in time as well. See, this was risky. But I banked on the fact that I'd spotted him before he'd spotted me, and I should be able to take him out first. And there you have it. So at this point, I'm thinking that's probably alerted the last 2 guys to my position, or at least my general whereabouts. And you'll notice that I have 2 rounds with my rifle. I've got to push up and hope that he's got something for me. So I'm going for it. I'm thinking, what have you got for me today, game? Show me the money. And lo and behold, we get this bad boy. The Golden Scar. Probably the best weapon in the game, let's be real. At least on console. The most effective weapon for the most effective ranges, really. Good range. It's really strong up close as well. Doesn't beat a shotgun, obviously. But that's why we've got the old bang bang still. Now, I'm in a what feels like a reasonably good position, because I've spotted this guy. Take a pot shot, because fuck it, why not? They don't necessarily know where I am. And we also know exactly where both of these guys are. And what we do know is that they are fighting amongst themselves. So I'm taking this opportunity to push up. I think he did just take a pot shot at me, which makes me think he probably knows where I am. But fuck it. We're committed at this point, and the circle is going to start moving. So here's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on the fact that he is going to have to move. He's built his little structure. It's no longer in the circle. So any second now... See what I'm saying? He had no choice but to run out there, and he ran straight into my line of fire. And look at that damage, boys and girls. I didn't actually realise I said anything in this recording. But did you see that? 98 damage it did with a headshot there. I practically killed him in a single shot. Golden Scar, ladies and gents. Best weapon in the game.